Ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes and bow-legged ants, admission is free. Y'all pay at the door. Pull up a chair and sit on the floor. Welcome now, children, grandchildren, great-granny. It's time for the world-famous Hartland Hootenanny. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Crow's Nest here at Heartland Studios on Hart Lane in East Nashville, Tennessee, USA. I'm Ketch, Secor, Gold Coat Medicine Show, and you're watching a brand new show which already happens to be the most exciting hour of live stream entertainment you've ever seen from one man, one banjo, and one Victrola under quarantine. Yes, it's been since Rose Louise Hovick's transformation to Gypsy Rose Lee that you've seen a program this profoundly wholesome, yet haphazardly slipshod, and it is with a buffalo jump of sincerity that I welcome each of you to the broadcast. Our special guest on the Hartland Hootenanny tonight, the one and only Birds of Chicago. How about them apples? Such a voluminous offering of songs and merriment are bound your way with a vim and vigor of real cream-like dependability. Yet these are harrowing times, so we offer you this heart with an empathetic heart. Well, there's no time like the present. Let's bring on the main event. This is the Hartland Hootenanny. Oh, welcome everybody. We're live and it's Saturday night in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's kick things off with a song. Ah! Yeah! Woo! Well, it's hard to love and not be loved. It's hard to please your mind. When you're broke in the heart of many a poor boy, you'll never break this heart of mine. Now listen, well, I wish I was a pretty little bird. I wish I was a pretty little bee. I wish I had a little quarantine girl to sit 6 feet from me. It's so hard to love and not be loved. It's hard to please your mind. When you're broke in the heart of many a poor boy, you'll never break this heart of mine. Well, the blackest plague that ever flew will never turn to white. And if you catch that COVID-19, you can kiss my butt goodbye. It's so hard to love and not be loved. It's hard to please your mind. When you're broke in the heart of many a poor boy, you'll never break this heart of mine. Oh no, you'll never break this heart of mine. All right, welcome home to the Hartland Hootenanny. It's Saturday night. Let me show you around the place. Come on now. Oh, Saturday night, I want you to see all I got here. Now listen, this is my poster from Groucho, Harpo, and Zeppo, the Marx Brothers. Here's my Europe 72 Grateful Dead album. Here's my grave rubbing from the headstone of Roscoe Holcomb. Oh, and here is my Louisville Slugger. I'd like to especially welcome all the baseball fans out there on the Hootenanny tonight, wishing their favorite team was squaring off on the diamond under the bright lights on some cool spring evening like this one, battling out head-to-head at the ballpark. God, can't you smell it? Hot dogs, gelatinous nacho cheese sauce, the old-style beer someone just spilled down your back while passing it down the row behind you. Oh my God. This bit really makes me wish that I was in some tertiary southern town like Jackson, Tennessee or Biloxi, Mississippi, you know, where I could really catch some of that Southern League AA action. Maybe I could see the Montgomery Biscuits sweat it out against the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Remember baseball? Gosh, doesn't that remind you of a favorite song? It sure does me. Baseball season in quarantine sounds like this. Yeah? Well, now listen. We'll beat the drum and hold the phone. The sun came up today. We're born again. There's new grass on the field. Hey, round the third and headed for home. It's a brown-eyed handsome man. Anyone can understand the way I feel. Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. them from the grandstands and eat $14 popcorn and drink $58 worth of beer and still be sober. Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Yeah, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Look at me, I can be center field. Play ball! All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a new segment here on the Hartland Hootenanny, because the only game beside baseball our nation is itching to play is a little game we like to call What Would You Be Doing Right Now If You Weren't in Self-Isolation? Yes, that's right, let's all play. Listen, our contestant today is none other than, our contestant today is Minnie Pearl. Welcome, Minnie. Howdy. Hi, Minnie. What's the matter? You look a little down. Oh, Ketch, I'm sorry. I'm just an absolute mess. You see, I was driving over here to the Hootenanny tonight, and the darndest thing happened to me. Oh, why? What's that, Minnie? Well, you know that Essex I've been driving. I stalled out on an intersection on the corner of Trinity Lane by that sketchy Mapco, and it just wouldn't budge. I sat in my car through a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. Boy, that must have been embarrassing, Minnie. Well, it wouldn't have been so bad, Ketch, but a policeman came over in his uniform and said, "What's the matter, honey? Ain't we got no colors you like?" Oh, Minnie, you're always a riot. Well, you know how the game is played, so pick up your signaling device. It's time to play. What would you be doing right now if you weren't in self-isolation? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, Minnie? Oh, I know just what I'd do. I'd go out on a picnic. That's a great answer. You'd go on a picnic. Yes, either that or I'd kiss a man with a beard. Go on a picnic or kiss a man with a beard. Now, why would you do that, Minnie? Because kissing a man with a beard is a lot like going on a picnic. You don't mind going through a little bush to get there. Oh, she's a barrel of laughs, folks. Thank you, Minnie Pearl. And join us next week for another thrilling edition of What Would You Be Doing Right Now If You Weren't in Complete and Total Self-Isolation? All right, come on out here. Let's get ready to do a couple of them catchy, entertaining, and memorable songs made famous by the Old Crow Medicine Show. Let's get all warmed up here. It's Saturday night. Woo! Built a little shanty by the Cumberland River. The rainstorm started and the water did rise. Wildcat wind, 10-foot rollers. Bless my soul, it was a hell of a ride. Eyes popped open, I was laying on the levee. Lord, I ain't got to heaven, but I feel alright. Small mouth jumping, I'm holding up something. Gonna roll a little high, wanna party tonight. Oh, Cumberland River, flowing through the heart of a guitar town. Oh, Cumberland River, can't you hear me singing your song? Now, can't you hear me singing your song? Ooh. All right, there's a Nashville song. Now let's head on up to the Great Volunteer Stage. Yeah! Dance a while. Ha, 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 ha. Now listen, you may call me a rover. I have been bored around, but I quit my roaming when I get to Nashville town. You may call me a liar or a hard-headed fool, but I'm burning in the Memphis on a flop-haired mule. I'm Tennessee bound, 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 bound. Good Lord, I'm Tennessee bound. Come rolling down the mountain, there's a girl of 14. She's as sweet as apple blossom, just a hillbilly queen. I'm coming round the mountain, don't you try to follow me. I'm gonna be her daddy when I get to Tennessee. Tennessee bound, 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 bound. Good Lord, I'm Tennessee bound. Woo! Oh, Tennessee bound and a 5-string banjo on a Saturday night. We must be on the Hartland Hootenanny. Well, Minnie Pearl's segment earlier reminds me that perhaps you're wondering what I, your host, Ketch Secor, would be doing right now if I weren't in self-isolation. And it's funny you should ask, because I know exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be reaching for this guitar here so I could just tell you something important. Because what I would be doing is... You smell that? No, not the ballpark. Maybe better. You see, if these were normal times and I weren't in quarantine, you would catch me salivating in a most public fashion right on the crusty buttered edge of downtown South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, because this weekend begins the National Cornbread Festival. Yay! It's the unofficial national festival of the nation's unofficial national bread. That delicious, quick rising delicacy that quickens the pulse and sets mouths to watering. Beautiful cornbread. All day I face the barren waste without the taste of cornbread. Golden, greasy cornbread, cornbread, cornbread. Then can you see that town in Tennessee where there's no quarantine and they can't stop me from being stuffed with cornbread? Golden, greasy cornbread, cornbread, cornbread. Adiole, odidole, adiole. Golden cornbread, how about that? From the sons of the pioneers. Well, you know what you're hearing now. That means... That's right. It's time for that special segment on the Hartland Hootenanny, the segment that we like to call News on Parade. Yes, it's News on Parade time, where the Hartland Hootenanny investigates what's going on in the minds and the hearts of the Old Crow Medicine Show, America's Sweethearts. And it's also that time when we open up the Pan American mailbag and read your correspondence. But first, the top news item for Old Crow today is an exciting new song and video which we're proud to debut here on the Hootenanny tonight. So don't touch that dial, because we're about to show you a world premiere video for our brand new song we're affectionately calling I'd Like to Kiss Ya, But I'm Quarantined. So, let me get out the old Compy 2000 here, put this old thing away, and we'll see if we can't get ready to assist you. Now, here it goes, folks, the worldwide debut of the latest Old Crow smash hit of the COVID-19 era, Quarantined, here on the Hartland Hootenanny. Go. I'd like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. I got to keep my lips off the scene, 'cause there ain't no cure for me. I probably ought to lay down and die. I long to hug you and to hold you tight, but I gotta wait 14 nights. Influenza's got a hold of me. I'd like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. The doctor told me this morning, go on and seal yourself away. Little gal you've been loving, that's the orders of the day. I'd like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. I got to keep my lips off the scene, 'cause there ain't no cure for me. I probably ought to lay down and die. I long to hug you and to hold you tight, but I gotta wait 14 nights. Influenza's got a hold of me. I like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. I'd love to take you out dancing where all the rowdy people go, but I can't take my chances. One little cough could kill us all. I'd like to hug you, I'd like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. I got to keep my lips off the scene, 'cause there ain't no cure for me. I probably ought to lay down and die. I long to hug you and to hold you tight, but I gotta wait 14 nights. Influenza got a hold of me. I like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. Shama don't make me no difference. What's the disease? 'Cause if I can't find me no loving, Let me fall on my knees and forego all decrees from the CDC. I like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. I got to keep these lips off the scene, 'cause there ain't no cure for me. I probably ought to lay down and die. I long to hug you and to hold you tight, but I gotta wait 14 nights. Influenza's got a hold of me. I like to kiss you, but I'm quarantined. I'd like to love you, but I'm quarantined. I'd like to hug you, but I'm quarantined. I'd like to friend you, but I'm quarantined. Oh, hey, how about that? Did you like it? Do you know that I made that 3 days ago? How about that for turnaround? We better thank our sponsors. Hey folks, tonight's world premiere video of I'd Like to Kiss You But I'm Quarantined was sponsored by my deceased grandfather's collection of Lily Pulitzer pants. And, of course, by our friendly sponsor, Questionable Dust Mask You Found in Your Garage. There's no sanitary face mask on the market today quite as questionable as Questionable Dust Mask You Found in Your Garage. Well, before we end the News on Parade segment, let's go ahead and take a sneak peek into the Pan-American mailbag here on the Hartland Hootenanny. That wonderful time when we read through your cards and letters and hear from some of the folks who love the Hootenanny most of all. They're listening in Blackstock, Ontario, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Melbourne, Australia, Mangalore, New Zealand, Nottingham in England, Woodstock, Illinois, Placerville, California, Portland, Ontario, Newport, Rhode Island, Albany, New York, Okeechobee, Florida, what? Brooklyn, Belle Isle, Florida, Bay Islands, New Zealand, Winchester, Tennessee. Aaron Nolan says, family gathered for another Hootenanny. Tammy Flanagan says, you are our Saturday night party in Johnson City, Tennessee. God bless yous. Fred Schmidt says, howdy. Lachlan Welsh says, instant smile on my face. Hashtag Hakuna Matata hand gesture. Allison Diane says, go Cubbies. Next year. Eugene Lawrence says, missing me some Braves baseball. I am too. I love to see old Dale Murphy. Leland Lawrence says, go Braves. And I say, go Bob Horner. Daniel Gaston says, go Braves. And I say, go Rafael Ramirez. John Stockdale says, Red Sox Nation. To which I say, woo! Me too, buddy. Kimberly Lord says, OMG, this is so fantastic. Allison Diane says something similar with hands clapping. And now it's time for some real news from the mailbag. Wait till you see the letters that came in today, folks. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to them all, but we've really got some beauties. Here's one from Amelia Albaran, who writes, my name is Amelia and I'm 10 years old. I play the violin. I've been playing for 5 years. My favorite songs are Carry Me Back and Wagon Wheel and It's an Already Mean Enough World. Can you please send me some sheet music for Wagon Wheel, etc. I love your Heartland Hootenanny. This is a picture of my violin. Hey, that one looks just like mine. Thanks so much for that letter. And here's a postcard from Emily Robinson in Richmond, Virginia. Writes, Dear Ketch, I think that all that apple juice has got you extra jazzed. You're right about that. Here's a letter from Jack Bearden of Selma, Alabama. Let's see what Jack writes. Jack says, hey, Ketch, this is Jack Bearden writing from Selma, Alabama. I'm a longtime first fan time writer. I'm writing this while listening to the Live at the Ryman album. It's the first record I ever owned and one of my favorites. I've got a small record collection, but a good one nonetheless. Hey, Jack, 10 years old, nice work. My brother and I have Live at the Ryman, Volunteer, Johnny Cash Live at Folsom Prison, and many other records, it appears. If you're taking song requests for the Hootenanny, I would appreciate it if you could play Dixie Avenue sometime. Hey, count on that one there, Jack, 10 years old from Alabama. And let's get time for just one more here from Robert Noel Phillips of Marietta, Georgia. Let's see what we got here. Oh, dear Ketch, I'm a big Old Crow fan from Atlanta, Georgia. Saw y'all for the first time in 2014 and been to several New Year's Eve shows at the Ryman. See you bringing in the year 2021. I'm planning on seeing you all at the Earl Scruggs Festival in North Carolina Labor Day weekend. Yes, I'm planning on being there. I've been listening to a lot of music, older country stars and bluegrass and Bob Dylan and playing my violin and fiddle. Well, that's awesome to hear, Robert Phillips, keeping that tradition alive in North Georgia. So many things. Well, that's wonderful. And if you want to write the Hartland Hootenanny, it's easy. And with quarantine providing you ample time for activities such as letter writing and stamp ordering and envelope licking and disinfecting after your mail carrier visits your porch, then please mail your letters to the Hartland Hootenanny in care of Old Crow Medicine Show's Heartland Studios, 711 Hart Lane, Nashville, Tennessee, 37216. Don't have time to disinfect on your way to the post office? Stay home and correspond with the Hartland Hootenanny on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Oh, and one more special announcement before we move on to our next segment. Are you looking for the perfect work-from-home attire? Are you a fan of Old Crow Medicine Show? Are you a size small, medium large, extra large, or extra extra large, or extra 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 large? Are you bothering to get dressed at all during quarantine? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you're going to love the merchandise items we have on sale on our website right now. Damn, Ewans, we're practically giving it away. And wait till you see the collection of one-size-fits-all selection of hats, chapeaus, hooten, mutzas. So, to be clear, we're offering a special reward to Hootenanny's loyalist listeners. Mention the code Hootenanny when you purchase shirts, hats, or posters from the OCMS website, and you'll get 20% off your purchase of $20 or more. Woo! It's Saturday night on the Hartland Hootenanny, and it's almost time for our social distancing square dance, folks. But before we get out onto the dance floor, I'd like to take just a brief moment to thank some of the hard-working folks out there and offer a serious note of gratitude to some folks who couldn't tune in tonight because they're so busy working hard to keep our country carrying on. So, special thanks tonight to checkout persons in grocery stores and pharmacies, people who work in the packaging and shipping departments of online fulfillment companies, deliverers, couriers, and drivers of FedEx, UPS trucks and vans, sailors, soldiers, airmen, and women, doctors, nurses, researchers, scientists, senior assisted living center attendants, folks who work for hospice care, and civic leaders helping our cities and states and counties remain functioning. Thank you, all of you who are doing something for others in need at this time. We salute you. God bless the working man and woman just like me, out there on the front lines fighting COVID-19, they keep on working. As long as their two hands are fit to use, they might drink a little beer in a tavern or at a ball game where there's no one in attendance. And they'll walk on up to the grandstands, and they'll hop on through the turnstiles all by themselves after sauntering down Yawkey Way and having a little nip that they brought in their pocket. And they'll sit there by the Green Monster. Yeah! All right, it's that special time. Let me get my fiddle out because we're about ready to rock and roll and get it cooking on Saturday night. Now, you know what it's time for, folks. That means it's time for our Hartland Hootenanny social distancing square dance. Let's get out on the hardwood floor tonight. Hey, speaking of hardwood, I know a little fallen timber that just can't wait to get its rug cut. Yep, let's log on for some real family fun now. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. You'd better move. You'd better dance. Seriously, y'all, I'm yelling timber. I'm about to pull out my own wooden leg. No, seriously, it's time I pull out a little fallen timber for you. Yes, it's time I get my log out on the dance floor. Here she is, folks. Look at her. God, she's beautiful. Watch her shimmer and shine. Oh, man. Yeah. This is a log from a tree felled during the Super Tuesday tornado here in East Nashville, and it seems to have some sort of white lightning juju put into it. Because wait till you see what it does for your dance steps. Are you ready? Do you have a partner at a safe 6-foot distance? Well then, let's get ready for the Saturday night social distancing square dance here on the Hartland Hootenanny. Ah! Yeah! Grab your partner from a space of roughly 6 feet. Hold on tight. Fellas, don't let her out of your sight. Just don't touch her, all right. It's a buck dancer's choice, lady. Just be sure and choose plenty of space between you and your man. Huh? It's more like do-si-don't, but let's do it anyway! Woo! with us during this week's thrilling edition of the Hartland Hootenanny's Social Distancing Square Dance. All right, back to the lock with you, Nessie. See you next week, Log. Well, folks. Hey, you know what that sound means? Woo-hoo! It's time to go straight to our next special segment on the Hartland Hootenanny, and that's a wonderful bit that I like to call Brighten Up Your Quarantine with the radiant hues of tonight's very special guest star. Now, hold up now. Let me see what I can do about it. Now, the celestial orbit is particularly well illuminated tonight by none other than this dazzling duo who, with their deftly handled dynamics, defy description. So, would you please welcome to the Hartland Hootenanny the one and only Birds of Chicago? Did we get them?
Hello.
Hey! You're on! I'm so glad to see you. It's Allison and JT.
Great to see you. I turned it back on.
Hey, Ketch.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear, and you look beautiful.
You and I really enjoyed the social distance square dance.
Were you two cutting a rug?
I was cutting a rug. Yep.
Snipping one.
Well, we're so glad you're joining us on the Hootenanny tonight. I'm just so tickled.
We are too. Thanks for having us, Ketch.
Well, give us one of those signature songs that I first fell in love with when I heard you play at the Bristol Rhythm and Roots Festival in Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia. Let her go.
All right, Ketch. What do you want from start to finish?
This is a new one called Second Cousin. I'm a second cousin, never say goodbye, sister, and my mother and my father, they were red hot lovers in Chicago, where the ice and the snow never stood a chance when our hearts got going. I see the light in you, it was easy to see. Now tell me something, baby, do you see the light in me? As the bird and the candle, and the candle burns me. As the love in the twilight, I've been drowned by the sea. Steadily through it all calling to the lonesome night. So the dawn bright leaving through a broken skyline. Yeah. I'm a second cousin, brother, say goodbye, sister, and my mother and my father, they were red hot lovers in Chicago, where the ice and snow never stood a chance when our hearts got going. I see the light in you, it was easy to see. Now tell me something, baby, do you see the light in me? Well, it's late in the evening, and I'm far from home, and my heart's tearing, and I'm alone. Who's at the window now? Stay out at the dark. Let's make a constellation of our lonely eyes. I'm a second cousin, never sang goodbye, sister, and my mother and my father, they were red hot lovers in Chicago, where the ice and snow never stood a chance when our hearts got going. I see the light in you, it was easy to see. Now tell me something, baby, do you see the light in me? Now tell me something, baby, do you see the light in me?
All right. That was a beautiful song. You say that's a brand new number?
Brand new.
Yeah.
I'm the second cousin of a sanctified singer? I loved that.
Oh, thanks, Ketch.
Have you guys recorded that one yet?
Not yet.
No, sir.
Oh, well,
No,
save
sir.
the fiddle part for me.
Just saying, you gotta play the fiddle on it when we
I
get
can go,
to
ooh.
all in a room together again.
Folks, Old Crow and Birds of Chicago, we're back. We're out on the road for the first time together back in February. And I think you guys, you understand, I made it clear to you that when we were on the road that I felt immediate kinship with you guys, like I'd known you for years. But now there's a few important questions that I have about your lives and your livelihoods that I want to ask so that I can be truly enlightened about who you are deep and on the inside. So do you mind answering them for me?
Not at all.
Okay, great.
Poised.
First off, I gotta ask, what's your favorite topping on a pizza?
I think I'm just a plain cheese person myself. But this man likes a
You
sausage.
know that she comes from the most barren Canadian pizza landscape, so you can't trust a Canadian on pizza.
She's from Montreal. I was expecting some oysters.
What's your favorite?
I'm a Italian sausage and mushroom man all the way.
What about you, Ann?
Oh man, I'd have to say I'm one of those Hawaiian types.
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
No, there's a lot of people out there that might not like.
It's best to get that out of the way early in a
Yeah.
conversation.
There's nothing wrong with
It's
it.
a pineapple.
Let's throw a little pineapple on top of this next question. All right. My question to you is, who would be your dream celebrity quarantine roommate with or without privileges? You decide.
Oh, celebrity quarantine roommate. I mean, for me, it's always going to be Kermit the Frog. Like, the answer is always Kermit the Frog when it comes to celebrity.
She's gonna have to address the privilege part now, I think, too.
Kermit the Frog is full
It does,
to all parts of our
it
lives.
does beg the question. So Kermit, for you,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, I'd have to say my grandma, but I mean, she's a celebrity to me, so. Yep.
I like that. It's good side stuff. Yeah. What about you?
gonna go Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott, Kermit the Frog, and Honest Grandma.
I just want to have a beer with Sam. We got a woodchuck in our backyard, and we named Sam Elliott,
Yeah.
and so he's been on my mind.
It turns out there's two woodchucks. So one of them's Sam Elliott and one of them's Lilac. But
Well, I know I'm coming over to see y'all real soon because I want to hang out at your party. All right. Now, you all seem like level-headed people. So I'm wondering if you have some quarantine tips for keeping cool during these troubling times.
Yeah. Pick 3 or 4 times a week to flip out.
Yeah.
safely.
To
safely
lose it.
flip out.
To lose
Yeah,
it.
safely.
Panic. And because I find once you blow that steam, then you're good.
back to
You're right
calm.
as rain for the larger portions.
Yeah, if you have a swimming pool, I suggest going to the bottom of it and screaming as loud as you can. It doesn't scare anybody.
We've been doing a lot of family running around the block with our daughter. Our daughter's 6, and she's just getting into running. And I've been doing some yoga sessions with her in the morning, and we've been doing a lot of dance parties and dancing as kind of outrageously and ridiculously as we can. And I recommend that. It just makes everything better. Kind of like the social distance square dance, blows off some steam.
Well, I know I saw some videos of her taken to the drum set pretty well, so I know you got a lot of extracurriculars going on in your homeschool. Finally, my last question for you, Birds of Chicago. What are you going to do as soon as the self-quarantine policy is lifted?
I'm so excited. So we used to do these, JT called them bubble jacks, where he'd make a bunch of pancakes, and you could have mimosas, or you could have, LaCroix with some lime in it. And we would have just a bunch of friends over and have a jam and hang out in the backyard. And so I'm really looking forward to having one of our bubble jacks when this is over.
Hear, hear.
And
Yeah, and
you're
of course
all
play
invited.
music for people in the same room again one day.
We got a friend, Marjorie Miller, that calls that a heavy brunch.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear another one of your wonderful songs. Let's all stay tuned in for the next tune from the Birds of Chicago. We're all listening. We got our dancing shoes strapped on. What are you going to sing for us next?
There's another new one. It's called Saints in Motion.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ketch. I've been on the top of the hill just after the lightning strikes. Had to take the thunder's word, yeah. And you heard the muffled music thump outside the gymnasium. Door swung open, something felt broken, you never went on in. Love and sky has nothing but you child. Don't ask me why, you won't ask me why. Come on, baby, don't give up now. You know it's getting ready for the turnaround. And the consecrated saints of motion, they're gonna kiss our 40-dollar wedding ring. I met you, I was so scared, you were scared as me. But we were more than the sum of our hearts, it was some kind of alchemy. We flew out on the edge of the storm, rode the wild sea. We were the question and the answer, we were voicing poetry. After all these years, I can't believe that this is how it ends. Like a cloud of hornets all around us, little dissatisfaction. Words like waves against the cliffs, knows and you can't see. Enough to tear two souls apart. Neither one knows it's happening. And the good sky has nothing of you, child. You don't ask me why, you won't ask me why. Come on, baby, don't give up now. You know it's getting ready for the turnaround. And the consecrated saints of motion, they're gonna kiss our $40 wedding ring. We are one, we are two, we are three. Look at our girls, she's drawing so mean. Draw your mama, draw your pop. Put that sun in the corner top. Now put some grass there beneath our feet. Don't forget the lollipop trees. Put some grass there beneath our feet. Don't forget the lollipop trees. We are one, we are two, we are three. We are one, we are two, we are three. We are one, we are two, we are three. Don't forget, don't forget.
Thank you.
Oh, that sounded so pretty. I hope I'm going to see you guys really soon, I hope, and I hope you're going to stay safe in your quarantine. All the old crows love you. We can't wait to get out there. We just put out on our social media the video that we made of us in Norfolk, Virginia, with you, Allison, rocking that clarinet for Virginia Creeper. It's rocking. Anyway, you guys stay real safe. Keep your hands clean. Don't touch your face. Bye, Allison. Bye, JT. Bye, Birds in Chicago. We love ya. Okay, we got him. Okay. Hey, it's time now for that special section where we do some fun with our Record of the Week segment. The time in the Hootenanny when we crank up the old Victrola, just like the old great-grandma did on Saturday nights as we listen to the ragged but right sounds of yesteryear. I'm going to crank it up and let her wind. Now, here it is, folks. I just want you to get a good look. Feast your eyes on this little beauty. This is Big Joe Turner's 1956 classic on Atlantic Records, Corrina. Corrina, here on the Hartland Hootenanny. It's Saturday night. Crank it up.
Corrina, Corrina, where you been so long? Corrina, Corrina, where you been so long? I had no loving, then you've been gone. Corrina, 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 I love you so. I love Corrina, tell her what I do.
Oh, ain't that fine, y'all?
I love Corrina.
Big Joe Turner sure sounds good on a Saturday night. He sure do. But I gotta take an opportunity now, because a song like that is just too good. I love that one, but in the true folk song tradition, we can't let that one get away without being updated here in the COVID-19 era. And so to that, let me just say, Corona, Corona, don't you stay too long. Ah, Corona, Corona, don't you stay too long. You got the whole world wondering, when will you be gone? Ah! Thanks, Big Joe Turner, for our Record of the Week. It's time now for our goodly, godly, wholesome gospel number here on the Hootenanny. So let me bring you over here to my stained glass window and sing a song of a spiritual persuasion. Now, a song of a spiritual persuasion need know no particular deity, and so I offer this song to my Muslim brothers and sisters who are beginning their Ramadan celebrations this weekend. A purely and perfectly polytheistic gospel song for you out there on the Hootenanny tonight. I hear the crying of the hungry in the deserts where they're wandering. Hear them crying out for heaven's own benevolence upon them. I hear destructive power prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the sound of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All the crimes and acquisition turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipators, where the lowliest will gather in their stall. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. Well, that song puts me in the mood for perhaps my favorite segment on the Hartland Hootenanny, a bit I'm proudly calling All My Tales Are Tall Ones. You know, folks, songs like I Hear Them All are part of a folk music tradition that owes a heap of gratitude to the efforts of a man from New York City who, in taking deeply to the music of the rural American South, found a worldly voice all his own, and in finding it, taught the world to sing right along. Of course, friends, I'm talking about the man with the banjo that surrounds hate and forces it to surrender. I mean that heroic Hudson River Hootenanny man, the one whose unwavering advocacy for the hardest working people puts him in the pantheon of America's greatest musical legends. I'm talking, of course, about Pete Seeger, who would have turned 101 next week. I'd like to recite for you now from a short piece I wrote for the New Yorker magazine. It ran back in February of 2014, just weeks after Pete went on home to Valhalla. It's called Pete Seeger Gazing Up into the Trees. In 2005, the Clearwater Festival, it went on in spite of a cold drive and rain. My band, Old Crow Medicine Show, played our set and then cheered from the side stage while Pete Seeger sang with a chorus of school children. Later that day, I joined in with Pete's grandson, Tao Rodriguez Singer, and his rock band. And backstage, Pete crunched on an apple and he looked up at the dripping trees, seemingly unaware of the clash of drums and the guitars. While Tao and I sang Maggie's Farm, I kept looking back to see how Pete liked it. But he just went on munching that apple and gazing up into the trees. That evening, the folklorist John Cohen stopped me on the path. He told me it was the 40-year anniversary of Bob Dylan going electric at the Newport Folk Festival, and that the tune on that occasion had been Maggie's Farm. John told me the story of how his first child had been born just a few days before the festival, and how Pete Seeger opened up the concert by playing a tape recording of the newborn's very first cry, a howling bellow that echoed across the festival grounds. And then John said something like, "Everybody remembers the story of Pete and the axe. But when I think about Newport 1965, I just remember Pete playing that tape of my daughter crying." To me, Pete Seeger's legacy is perfectly expressed in that recorded howl. For Pete, a baby's cry was as much of a call to social activism as any song. From Harvard to hobo, sit-ins to concert halls, Pete Seeger's plan was simple: to lead a rallying cry at the front lines of justice, of freedom and peace, and to forge a new link in the chain, stronger than the last, for the next generation of folk singer. How best to begin this monumental task? Simply by teaching children to sing old songs. Toward the end of that rain-swept night in New York, my band and I finally got to greet Pete Seeger. He was standing outside his dressing room trailer with that same skyward gaze. "Hiya, Pete," I said. "We learned to play the banjo thanks to you." He smiled proudly and he looked us over and he said something that I've thought of many times since. He said, "Let me tell you something, boys." He said, "In Persia, I once heard it told, if you have your health, give yourself a 1. If you have a family, put a 0 behind it. If you have land, add another 0. And if you have influence, add yet another 0. But take away your health, and what do you got? Boys, keep your health." Well, today's folk scene is just as healthy as it's been since the 1960s. We young pickers revive that hootenanny spirit every night on stage. And it's as clear to me as the waters of the mighty Hudson that the way to continue Pete Seeger's legacy is as simple as teaching your children and your children's children to sing an old song. Thinking back, I know now that what Pete saw up in the trees that rainy day along the Hudson River was a new crop bursting forth from all the seeds he'd sown, crying out to be heard. Hey up, ho, ho, Wimoweh, oh, Wimoweh, oh, Wimoweh, hey up, ho, ho, Wimoweh, oh, Wimoweh, oh, Wimoweh. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the peaceful jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. On the Hartland Hootenanny. Well, that's just about all the time we have for you here. I want to thank tonight's guest stars, Allie and JT, the Birds of Chicago. And I hope we're all going to see you again next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time when our very special guest will be Mr. Jukebox himself, honky-tonk hero Joshua Headley. He'll be here on the Hartland Hootenanny, so stay tuned for that. Well, until next week, keep following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all the latest Hartland Hootenanny news. Like our page and ring that bell. We'll see you again next week. And until we meet again, God bless, be safe, take care, wash your hands, don't touch your face, keep your distance, stay positive, optimistic, hopeful, healthy, cheerful, groovy, motivated, spirited. Oh, and by the way, so long, it's been good to know ya. So long, it's been good to know ya. So long, it's been good to know ya. Till we find a cure, let us all quarantine. Ask the folks from the CDC. The sweethearts, they sat in the dark and they sparked from 6 feet away in that dusty old dark. They sighed and they cried and they wanted to kiss, but from 6 feet away their kiss sounded like this. It went so long, it's been good to know ya. So everybody, it's been good to know ya. So long, it's been good to know ya. That COVID-19 is again my home, and I gotta be drifting along. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on the Hartland Hootenanny. We appreciate you, each and every one, so much out there. Thank you for your years of love and support of the old Crow-Medon Show, and know that without your steadfast friendship, we'd probably all be dead or in jail by now. So thanks for keeping us out of the clink and in the pink, folks. We love you, we really do. We also love tonight's guest star on the Hartland Hootenanny, the fabulous Birds of Chicago, and we hope to get to share the stage with them again real soon. And who else do we love on the Hartland Hootenanny tonight? We love Pete Seeger. We love Tao Rodriguez Seeger, Sarah and Henry Cannon and Minnie Pearl. We love John Cohen and Roscoe Holcomb, Big Joe Turner, Bob Nolan, and all the sons of the pioneers. We love Merle Haggard. We love the Paiute Wavaka, who kept the moon and stars under the brim of his hat and taught us the ghost dance. We love the Buddha, Mohammed and Moses and Jesus. We love single A, double A, and triple A baseball. We love Gypsy Rose Lee, the Grateful Dead, and all the Marx Brothers. That's all the time we have for on the Hartland Hootenanny. But we'll see you again next week. And until then, y'all stay safe and happy. God bless and take care. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Keep your distance. Stay positive, optimistic, hopeful, healthy, cheerful, groovy, motivated, untethered, wild, free, liberated. Good night, everybody. Good night, and God bless you from Nashville, Tennessee.